Hi everyone, my name is Ryan. Welcome back to Math with RG. Today we are doing Algebra 1 percent of change. Let's dive into it. And as always, I always recommend that you read the question twice. You say what you're doing out loud when you're studying at home, or say it in your mind when you're taking a test. And then you read the question again at the very end to make sure that your answer matches with the question. All right, you can do this. I believe in you. Let's dive into it. Here we go. So today we have percent of change. State whether each percent of change is a percent of increase or a percent of decrease. Then find the percent of change. Round to the nearest whole percent. All right, now we're only going to work on the even numbers. So here we go. Number 62. So the original is 36 and the new is 24. All right, so we're going from 36 down to 24. So this is a decrease, right? So percent decrease. And now we need to actually find the percent of change. So here's the formula. You find the difference, and then you divide by the original. Okay? So, find the difference, meaning subtract them, and then divide. So then divide by the original. Okay, so let's do it. We have 36 minus 24 divided by the original, which is 36. All right, so 36 minus 24 is 12 divided by 36. All right, so now we're looking for a percent. This is a fraction. So what I highly recommend, because I think this is just a bit easier, is if you simplify the fraction, then you can divide. And by the way, you want to also look out for, can I make the denominator a 10, 100, or 1,000? In this case, I can't, so I'm just going to go with simplifying. Okay, so what's the greatest number that goes into 12 and 36? Well, turns out that 12 goes into 36. So we can divide each one by 12, and we get 1 out of 3. Okay, now if you don't know what this percent is already, then I will do the long division. But I highly recommend that you memorize classic percents like 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/5, 2/3, 3/4, 2/5, 3/5, that kind of stuff. 4/5. Okay, so we'll do long division. And we have 3 going into 1. All right, so how many times does 3 go into 1? 0. We put a decimal. We put a 0 and pretend that that's a 10. How many times does 3 go into 10? 3 times. 9. Again, I'm pretending that's a 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. Oh, and check it out. We are going to have this 10 again, right? So you can see that the 3 is going to repeat. Now, I'm going to do this one more time so that we can have 3 places. Now, there's a reason for that. And the reason is when I change to a percent, so first of all, this is repeating. Well, they're all repeating. But when I change to a percent, I have to multiply by 100, so that means I have to move the decimal 2 places to the right. Okay, so that means that it's going to say 33.3 repeating percent. And it was a decrease. Right? Okay, so yes, percents can have a decimal and they can also have a repeating symbol inside of them. All right, so let's move on. Now we're gonna dive to find the total price of each item. So we're gonna work on percentages with taxes and things like that. Okay, so number 64 says $64, okay, for the boots, and then 7% in tax, and they want the total price for each item. Okay, so here we go. So we have $64 for the boots, 7% in taxes. Okay, so there's two ways to do this. I like to do it in the way where you just do everything at once. So you have to think about it like this. $64, I'm gonna pay 100% of that, right? Because there's no discount. I'm just $64 plus the taxes. So I'm gonna pay 100% of that, and then I'm also gonna pay 7% in taxes. So it's really 107% of $64, right? So here's what we do. We take the 64 and we're going to multiply by 107%. Because again, I'm going to pay the 100% of 64, because that's $64. That's what the boots cost. And I'm going to add 7% on top of that. Okay, so now we have 64. And when I'm multiplying by percent, I have to change it to a decimal. So that will change to 1.07, right? Because I moved 2 places over. And now I can just multiply it out. Now, I'm handwriting this, but if you're on a test and it's Algebra 1 and your teacher doesn't want you to handwrite stuff, they just want you to show that you understand that you're multiplying by 107%, and then they're allowing you to use a calculator, okay, that's fine, right? You get through it much faster. But here's how you handwrite it, just in case you need to know. So we got 7 times 4, that's 28. 7 times 6, that's 42, plus 2 is 4. 44, and then, whoops, sorry. And so that goes there, and then we bring down a 0 for a placeholder, and now the 0 goes through both of those, right? Multiplying by 0 each time, you get 0. And then we bring down 2 more placeholders, and we have a 1 multiplying to each thing, so that's your 4 and your 6. Added up. Now remember, we know that our answer has to be more than $64 because we're paying $64 for the boots plus taxes, so it's got to be more. So the reason I'm saying that out loud is to remind myself, because if I accidentally made a mistake and I write down an answer that's less than $64, I will know that it's wrong. Okay, so we have 8, 4, 8, and then 6. And then there is 2 decimal places in there. So all I have to do is move 2 places to the right. 1, 2. So there it is. So my total price is $68.48 for the boots. And that's including tax. All right, let's do the next one. Number 66, we've got hockey skates for $199, and the tax is 5.25%. All right, this is good because it's got a decimal inside the percent, so it's a slightly different problem. Here we go, $199, tax is 5.25%. Okay, $199. This is number 66, and the tax 5.25%. All right, so again, we know that we're going to have the 100% plus the 5.25%. So that's 105.25% times our $199. Okay, so now at this point, if you don't want to handwrite it, I would highly recommend that you use a calculator. And again, we move this 2 places to the left. So it's really going to say 1.0525 times 199. That is a bit of a hassle to handwrite, so let's just use the calculator. Okay, so after using the calculator, we got $209, and I'm rounding here, so 45 cents. So that is the total. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now we're in the next section, and it says, find the discounted price of each item. The discounted price of each item. So number 68, we have a jacket. It cost $129. The discount is 15%. All right. Okay, so here's the deal. Normally, you're paying 100% of the total, right? So the total is $129. They want 100% of that. That's what they're charging for a jacket. But today's a special day. It's on sale. It's 15% off. So you're no longer paying 100%. So what are you paying? Well, let's show that. 100% minus 15%, right? Because 15% discount. So you're paying 85%. So now your multiplication is going to be 129 times 0.85. This right here will be the discounted price. So we got 5 times 9, that's 45. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14, carry the 1. 5 times 1 plus 1 is 6. Bring down a 0. We already used those. 8 times 9 is 72. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 7 is 23. And then 8 times 1 is 1, plus 2 is 10. Okay, so we add them up, we get 5, 6, 9, 0, and 1. 2 places over. So we're now at $109.65. That is your discounted price. My answer makes sense because it's less than $129. All right, so let's do the last one, word problem. Here we go. Attendance. An amusement park recorded attendance of 825,000 in 1 year. The next year, the attendance increased to 975,000. Determine the percent of increase in attendance. Okay, so we're at 825 to 975. All right, so this is number 70. 825,000, and it went up to 975,000. All right, so they want you to determine, right, the percent of increase in attendance. So we know it's going up, right? So we know it's an increase. All right, we still got to follow the protocol, which is, I'll give you a moment. Do you remember what it is, the formula? Okay, let's do it. So find the difference. So 975,000 minus 825,000. All right, so we got 0, 0, 0, 0, 5, and 1. All right, so the difference is 150,000. And we're going to divide that by the original, which is 825,000. Okay, so what we can do here is we can go 1 for the zeros when we're dividing. So now we really have 150 over 825. So we're trying to change that into a percentage. So what we can do is just, to save some time, use our calculator, right? Because we're just demonstrating that we know the formula, but we don't have to demonstrate tons of long division because you guys have all done that when you were younger. Okay, so here we go. We got 150 divided by 825. So this is 0.1818. Okay, so here it is. We just have to change it to a percentage. So what I would do is just round it to the nearest whole percent. So that's going to equal 18%, right? Because it says 1/8 and then 1, so we'll just keep it at 18. Then we multiply it by 100, so it moves 2 places over to change to a percent. So 18% increase in the attendance. That is the final answer. Thank you so much for checking out this video today for Math with RG. Great job on finishing today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, tell your friends and family. And if you want to dive deeper into chapter test work, you can check out my Skool platform, skool.com. The link will be in the bio below. And if you want more information on one-on-one tutoring, you can check out my website, rgtutors.com. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye for now.